This is Talk is Sheep, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Society BC, brought to you by Sitka Gear. Come along as we bring conversations that matter to you into the high alpine. This episode is sponsored by our conservation partner, Precision Optics. Thank you Sitka Gear and Precision Optics for investing in healthy wildlife and sustainable ecosystems.
Gregory frickin' Renzemeg, how's it going, you bearded wonder?
Oh, that's quite the intro. Doing well. How are you doing, Mr. Stelter? Big dog?
Awesome. It's been 10 days since I hung out with you. We had a couple of epic weekends and we got to drink some whiskey, tell some lies. You hid for part of the weekend, I'll admit, but
I ghosted hard. No fault of my own. I don't know whatever happened to me, but yeah, that was it's an interesting way to enjoy the show. I was good at the start, good at the end, but the whole middle was sleeping.
did you ever figure out how you got it so sick? Was it like you thought it was food poisoning, but I don't see how that's even possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody else got sick, and we all kind of ate the same thing. So
Yeah.
I guess maybe just a wild 24-hour flu or 12-hour flu or whatever happened. But man, like I left that board meeting and that was it. That was me for 12 hours, and then I couldn't drink enough water to rehydrate to save my life the next day. It's
Crazy times, man. So
yeah.
I just thought we'd connect here and just talk a little bit about our fundraising season. We just had a couple of epic shows, and man, lots to celebrate, lots to catch up on, and there's some stuff coming up too that we want to make sure people are on the loop on. Some really cool events going on that we want to share with people. So I don't know, what's your take? We had a great Northern, and then we went down to Penticton for a Salute to Conservation Mountain Hunting Expo. What was your as the El Jefe? What was your take on it all?
Man, February, what a month. Like we go to Reno, and then Reno's its own animal, and then we have a month of just go time. But it's the Northern Fundraiser. I still can't figure that place out. Like, it's just such a vibe. It's a party. It's like we don't put on the big fancy show there. It's just we go dinner. Everyone's there to have a good time. And I don't know, it's just a great room, a great vibe. That room's buzzing. Everybody's walking in the door, and they're coming for a good time. Like, it's I don't know. I love the Northern. It was only my second year going, and man, the people in the North come up and they support sheep in the North because all the funds raised there stay in the North, right?
I think that's what it is, Greg. I think there's so much passion for the resource there that I think that's one thing that they kind of have over other regions, and not slighting anyone here, but they're super passionate about their thin horns and their stone sheep, and and these people just like, it's interesting. They'll donate a package, like a significant package, like some serious dough, and then they'll buy it back at the live auction and they'll redonate it again. And you're just like, wow, that's just it's really cool. And hey, this is not all about the money, but as we know, Greg, like, conservation does take money, and if we don't have the resources to support the resource, that's where we get in some hot water. And that Northern, they just show up, and they're amazing the way they support the show and everything we do up there. And a record breaker this year again. I think we're 490, so that's the biggest show we've ever had in the North, and just lots of excitement in the room, and we had a great evening. So
yeah, no, it was good. Like that Friday night, I don't know what we got to do to get more people in that room, but Friday night's awesome too. Like, it's just show up, have some drinks, have some food. There's ton of good raffles. The backpack race. I know this year we kind of got hammered with weather. It was terrible travel time for anybody that wasn't already there. I know the Friday night was quite the blizzard. So if you weren't staying in Dawson that night, it was probably better off that you didn't show up there. I know there was a few diehards that made the trek from John there and braved the blizzards and the whiteout conditions to just come share a few stories, have a few beers, and have a few more beers, and then a few more beers, and there was a few people that hit me up on these whiskey promises that you keep doing. So
Oh, is that right? Eh? Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, buddy. That was I was just over in Alberta last weekend, and that was actually it was interesting. There was quite a few listeners that were from Alberta. I think more than BC, probably not, but it seemed like that. And they kept talking about you and buying whiskey for them. So what I suggest is maybe don't go to the Alberta show for a couple of years because it's going to cost you some whiskey. That's all I'm saying.
I'll have to save up before I head out there.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, and just a shout out to Frontiersman Gear for that Friday night, for putting that on for us. They did a great job again this year. Backpack races were great. Just a fun night. Had just a fun night was had by all. And but like you said, I think it was -28 I seen, and there was a serious wind chill, and then it was blizzarding hard Friday night too. So yeah, that definitely there were some no shows there. So it was a little light on attendance, but I don't think it reflected on the evening. We all had a pretty good time for sure. So
Yeah, no, it was great, and for people in that room buying raffles, they had some good odds that night. That was for sure.
yeah, for sure. So no, a huge shout out to that northern community, and as always, Corey just does such a phenomenal job out there. He led the team, and a bunch of our directors went up. We had great support, and that was awesome. But just a hats off to the job that Corey does in that northern show. He's kind of he's the sole northern director, and trust me when we say that with we want more northern representation. So we're looking for guys from the north to get on the board. Corey's kind of one of the only guys out of the north. They're still you're north central, I guess. You're kind of on the verge, but you're not in 7B, so you don't count.
No, I got no sheep, so I'm right in the middle of everything. I got to go pretty much the same distance south or north to hit sheep. So
yeah, awesome.
And we had but good lineup too. We had Mr. Thornton was up there. He spoke on Saturday night and kind of gave his spiel to the crowd, and it was always awesome to. I think was that his first time coming up to that show?
Yeah, first time to the northern, and it's funny. Gray's super passionate. Like when I started with the sheep world, I started in Jurassic, and we talked to Gray. I called him, and I'm like scared to death. I'm calling this Gray Thornton guy. I didn't know who he was. All I knew he was a bigwig, and he's like, "Well," he goes, "Yeah, we'll support it, but we want to make sure we spend money in the north on those thin horns." We're like, "Okay, no problem, Gray." Like, he's super passionate about obviously, our stone sheep. Don't get me wrong, he cares about them all, but stone sheep is, I know for sure that's close to Gray's heart. And he was really impressed with our show, and I tell you, our guests were excited. I think Robert Cook was like, "Oh man, that guy speaks really good, doesn't he?" I'm like, "Yes, he does, Robert."
Yeah. I hate to say it, he's a seasoned veteran. Don't want to paint him with the brush of being old, but man, he's got how I don't even know how you put that. He's talented when he speaks, and he's able to captivate the room, and he speaks so eloquently on the topics. It's great, and it was great seeing him up there. That's no easy journey for him. It's got a few layovers and coming to the bitter cold of the north at that time.
Well, and the crazy thing with Gray is they came off their show, and then he went over to SCI like he always does, and he literally left SCI. I think he maybe detoured via Bozeman and then straight to the north. So yeah, it was a huge undertaking. When I asked him, I think Corey wanted to invite him. It was one of our committee meetings. I said, I don't think he'll come. I don't know how he could do it. And I know he wants to come. I just don't think he could with everything that was going on. And just that shows the level of commitment we get from Gray and the Wild Sheep Foundation. They're super passionate about looking after British Columbia, and for him to make the journey, it means a lot. So, and I think our members recognize that, and we're grateful for it.
Yeah, I think it meant a lot to a lot of people seeing how much WSF actually cares. It's not just lip service. They show up and they throw down money for BC for wild sheep. So they're one of our biggest allies. We love the guys to the south there and gals.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting. Here we are talking about our show. Have you listened to the Come Out Heavy Boys or anyone else about what they're saying? I listened to the Hunter. Well, I sent you that link to the Hunter Conservationist podcast, and they Mark was talking a little bit about our show with Dana, who was volunteering at our show. So that was cool to hear their perspective. They had some really kind things to say. But have you heard the Heavy Boys? I haven't checked their latest release, so it's always entertaining.
Yeah, if they've released one, if I haven't heard it yet. I listened to them a
Yeah.
couple of days ago, but it wasn't about the show. It
Okay.
was,
Yeah.
I think it was the McCabe when they had Matt on there just talking
Oh
about the
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
hopefully
Yeah.
they give us a good review. They never hold back if they didn't like
yeah,
it. So.
they're going to give us something. I don't know if it's good, but they'll give us something for sure. So I always get a kick out of it, man. It's always so much fun, and they had a blast this year, and they got their ass kicked in the backpack race, so that was kind of cool. So.
I think that's just annual now, isn't it, for them?
I got to razz them a little bit. So no, it was awesome having them there, and Kurt and Dev are great guys, and yeah, great proponents of wild sheep too, and they put on that. So I guess for anyone that missed the show, we did have a fantastic show down in Penticton. Sheep Hunter University was just unhinged, man. Like, okay, let's start with like maybe an Adam Foss or a John Barclow or a TJ Schwanke or Dylan Ayers or like we had C Toms come in from Edmonton and talk about surviving your worst day in the field. We had the VPD there doing some stuff on survival. Of course, we had the horn aging stuff. And that horn aging, did you look in that room at all? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah, it wasn't even standing room. There was no room. It was just there was 180 seats were filled, and then people on the perimeter, and so that's the stuff that makes me go. That makes me happy. Like, we try and raise for the resource and look after our wild sheep, and that's really important to our mission. But to me, it's that sense of community, and we see those people together, and that energy in that room, and the excitement and enthusiasm. Yeah, beautiful thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's cool to see, because when you go there, there's so much to do, and it's cool to see how many people stop what they're doing, go to the Sheep Hunter University, and especially for something as important as horn aging, to pack that room like they did. And it's just, it's there's veterans to people who've never done it before. They're just brushing up on their skills or learning from scratch. Like it's such a cool room. And then there's always the guys will stick around after, and they'll chat, and you go get your hands on some sheep, or you hear a story from a veteran, might have some different tips and perspectives on how to glass, and it's cool. It makes me happy when you look in that room and just see how many people are in there, and it almost makes you wonder, do we need to do a bigger room just for sheep or for horn aging? But we're going to do it everywhere in the province, so you'll have to stay tuned for those events, right?
Yeah, and those are all coming together nicely. So yeah, to that point, I know we're weaving and dodging here, and apologize to our listeners, and we'll go back to the to the expo shortly. But yeah, we're doing horn aging in so the board, and congrats to you and the board, Greg, for taking that leadership. We talked about some of the issues around wild sheep and sheep horn aging and things to improve on, and we looked at some ways to sort of advocate government to do to bring in some policy that would better protect our wild sheep. But one of the things that we knew we could change is just making sure there was a lot of education out there for people to horn age. And that was going to be the path of least resistance. And that's something that we can directly control. So we don't have to change policy or government or get people on board. We can just provide these courses. They're free of charge. So, for the Sheep Hunter University, that one, you had to get in the door. And I think a day pass was $15. But for all our other courses throughout the province, they're going to be free throughout the entire province. And we're doing one in every region, 1 through 8. So we've got 9 different courses throughout the year. We've already done Penticton, PG, Kamloops, Williams Lake, Comox, Abbotsford, Cranbrook.
Smithers is in there too, isn't it?
Smithers, exactly. Fort St. or Dawson Creek. I think that might be, we maybe knocked them all out there. But, the board's taking this very seriously. We've invested in it. We're putting some money towards it. because obviously these courses aren't free to put on, and but they are free to anyone that wants to, and it's open to anyone that wants to attend. So, love to you to be a member. That'd be great. And we really hope you maybe at the very least buy a membership if you're not one. But if you're not, still come, because it's more important that you have the education than whether or not you're a member. So we want people to be well armed, well equipped when they go out in the field and really understand what they're doing, so that we take care of the resource that we all love. So
Yeah, no, and they're great to go to, just as almost just networking and hanging out and just having a good time. Like, you gotta sit down and shut up and listen to the bio talk for an hour or so and learn what they have to say, but then you just get to hang out with a lot of the times there's some dedicated sheep hunters in that room, so it's not just sit in a seminar. There's actually some social aspect to it too, so it makes it worth the while, and you can kill an afternoon or an evening, wherever the event is and whatever time it's going to be. But no, I love them. Like when we do the ones at Trench and PG that's a good time. And
yeah,
that's where it'll be again. So if you guys want to have a couple beers,
Greg's buying.
Greg's buying.
Just kidding.
I don't know Greg, but he's buying.
Because there will. Yeah, exactly. And I think what's our date on that, Greg? May what?
Oh, May 11th. We just locked that in today. It'll be noon. So it's a Sunday, May 11th. And some good food, some good drinks, and learn about horn aging.
Yeah, and we always do something in addition. So there'll be the horn aging, of course, and there'll be some giveaways, maybe some door prizes or more. And what we do is we try and endeavor to bring more in. So if we can bring someone in to do a seminar in addition to the horn aging stuff, so it's kind of multifaceted, makes more of an event out of it. But Greg, that's what got me to my first sheep event. And like people say, well, how do I get started sheep hunting? Or I don't know anyone. What do I need to do? And it's just like anything else, man. If you want to learn to fly an airplane, you go to the airport. If you want to learn to drive a boat, you go to the down to the dock and at your local where they drive boats. And it's the same thing if you want to sheep hunt. Like, go to these shows because people are there. And one thing about our community is they're very generous. They're very supportive. And guys are maybe a little protective of their spots, but even then I found they're pretty generous. And, that's one thing. It was back in the Dave Marsh days, and Dave was online on Hunting BC, and he's like, well, if you want to learn to fucking hunt the sheep, you go to the sheep show, you stupid prick. Like, and that's pretty much what he said, because that's how he talked. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's probably where I should go then. And I went there. I went by myself. My first show, I just showed up. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. I just showed up, and I walked in there, and it was just a room full of people. I was like, oh, wow, it was really inclusive. I really felt comfortable. And that's the one thing I hear about our shows now, is that people feel welcome and included and stuff like that. And which is, that's what you want. You want a community, right?
Yeah. No, we preach the community aspect, the family values, and we refer to it more often than not as the Wild Sheep family. And I feel when you go to these events, especially like the Northern and Penticton, you got 600 plus people there on the Saturday night, and plus those people are usually there during the day, and then there's other people walking around, the vendors, and it's just you're comfortable. You can stop and talk to anybody you want to. Everybody wants to talk. It's just, you feel at home, but you feel the energy in the room, and you feel welcome. Like, there's no, like, my first, like, you were talking about your origin story, so to speak, to the sheep world. Mine's the same. I went to Kamloops by myself. I knew people that were in the society. I didn't go with anybody. And, you get there and it's like, yeah, these are my people. This is where we belong. And here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Super cool vibe. And okay, so if we bounce back off this horn aging, you're talking about biologists, and they did the bio update, and that's one thing that caught me off guard. On the Friday, we went to do our AGM, and I walked into that room, and they were doing the projects update, and the place was bloody packed. Like, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe how many people were there for, like, I know it's important and people, but there was some really cool seminars going on at exactly the same time. And that place was pretty packed with, so we had Hillary Ward do the update from the government. We had Larissa. She did a great update on her project in the Thompson River. And then obviously Barker was there. I think Helen presented as well. So I know you were sick then, so I don't think you were part of that. But no, a really good lineup, and yeah, it's just super important that to talk about the work that we're doing on the ground. So
Yeah, no, it's awesome with that. But I guess maybe we should just roll back even a little further and kick off with how that whole show kind of kicks off for us, because we roll in and we run around like chickens with their heads cut off for a couple of days, and vendors all move in, and then Thursday night, the Drinks for Dolls whiskey tasting event at the hotel, and everybody got to try that new gem, the Tatsushini Glacial whiskey.
easy for you to say.
Yeah. I wasn't there, so it doesn't matter to me. No.
What do you think of the new whiskey?
I like it. I did indulge in some of Nolan Wanup's bottles, plural.
Bottles. Yeah. 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 Anyway, sorry, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all good. I can't really speak too much of the whiskey tasting because I wasn't there, but it's done in partnership with Okanagan Spirits. They put it on, and they're the masterminds behind the whiskeys we've been doing. And man, it's just the passion from them when they're speaking about whiskey. Like,
Yeah.
it's an education course. It's a good time. I know last year I thoroughly enjoyed it listening to them speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, we have our Tatsushini Glacial now on sale. You can buy it, and just go over to Okanagan Spirits website. Just do a Google search for Okanagan Spirits, and our Tatsushini Glacial's there. And proceeds from those bottles all go to our conservation efforts. So you're basically drinking to put wild sheep on the mountain. So how bad could that be? But that Tatsushini Glacial, it's a single malt and beer inspired, which is there's a pioneer brewing process, and you can read about it on the website. But it makes for a smooth drinking single malt that's it's very lovely. I think it's my fave. Definitely in the top two for sure.
And it just caps off the BC Slam, right? Well,
Yep.
that's number 4. We've done everything else.
Yeah, we've done all 4. Yeah, for sure. So, if you've had the other ones, make sure you get yours because they will sell out. We do have a limited quantity, and I'm not sure where we're at. But last time I talked to Okanagan Spirits, the numbers were dwindling. So if you're thinking that you might want to get one, I wouldn't screw around too much because they're not going to be here forever. Just like the rest, they've all sold out. So, and at the very least, they're a great fundraiser for wild sheep, and they're really, really good drinking.
Yeah, I know. The wife texted me today actually, and my bottles have arrived in Prince George. So
Bottles, nicely done.
You got to have the ones you drink, and then the ones you don't drink. So you got to have all 4 on your shelf, right?
Well, you mentioned Nolan, right? And he's got 2, and he was. I actually had a bottle, and he's like, he goes, I need to get one more bottle of the Steeples. I think it was. He's like, because I think he tucked into one too many accidentally. But he's like, it can't be uneven, man. And then Nolan actually bought, it was Amanda, his wife, bought that light apparatus with the deadhead. So Caden Romaine was out hiking. He found this mature deadhead, bighorn ram, in the Kamloops area. Came back, left it behind, did the right thing, came back, came to us. We reached out, got a permit for it. He got it. We got it permitted. He brought it back. His uncle, who's, I think his company's called Gunpowder Lighting. Check him out on Instagram. He built this thing, and it's like an industrial light. And he took one of our Tatsushini bottles, put a light in it, and then it's tied with that whole bighorn setting. It's on a piece of wood. It's got a plaque on it, and it's just absolutely stunning, man. And it's what did it sell for? It was for 64 or something like that.
Yeah, 64, 6,500. It was just a neat piece to have.
Yeah.
Like you got the big dead head, and then you've got the lamp that is our whiskey. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's a cool piece, and it's I don't know, that's a Wild Sheep BC piece, really. That's
Yeah.
it's
a
cool.
one of a kind, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody like it's not a replica, it's an actual bighorn sheep. Like it's the full meal deal. It's a real thing, and it's epic. So yeah, it was such a cool piece and really priceless, right? Like yeah, we talk about what he paid for it, but yeah, that thing's it's there's no two like that one, that's for sure. So pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, one of one and will always be. So that's a neat way to look at it. It's art, really. Yeah, and then, after we get past all the whiskey, we did this, or I don't know if we'd call it the second annual Ruck in the Park. So that was well received. It looked like folks had a good time sweating it off in the mountain snow-covered hills.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. That Mystery Ranch stepped up this year to support that, and Wardo, who is the president's man, he's your right hand man. He did a phenomenal job, like creating awareness around that. Was the Ruck in the Park? Actually, they did the run in the park last year, so it's our second annual event. But they did a run last year. This year was actually a ruck. I think they were using 40 pounds.
Yeah,
yeah, and
I think so. Yeah.
yeah, super cool. Mystery Ranch sponsored first prize. So the winning men won a Mystery Ranch pack, and the winning woman as well. And then the second place winners, they won a set of Schnee's boots. So cool prize package. And we had a really good turnout this year. Like the first year, proof of concept, it was a little skinny, but we had really good numbers this year. And it was just an epic weekend for sure. So hats off to Wardo for putting that together. And I think that's going to just continue to grow. My vision for that, and I think Wardo shares it, is like hopefully get people in the local community coming too, right? Like you don't necessarily need to be part of the our event to do it, right? So if you're local and drive down from Kelowna or Penticton and just be part of it, it's lots of fun.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a race, but it's a good time, and yeah, you got a chance at some good gear to win or whatever will be up for grabs next year. Like it's worth it. I know
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, but somebody else will.
Yeah. Yeah.
You won't catch me running for fun. No. As most of you could tell that know me.
It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, so we kick off the Friday morning with that. The exhibitor floor is open. Sheep Hunters University is running. How many exhibitors did we have this year? We were, what, 70, something like that?
70 booths. Yeah, we had 70 booths, and some of them had double booths, but it was over like close to 60 vendors and over 70 booths total. So lots of single booths and stuff. But yeah, just the lineup is insane, man. Like when you look at the names we had on there that we got up from down south, it's a great lineup, great vendors, great experience, really cool.
Yeah, it's neat when you hear people that don't know what it's about, haven't been to it before, and I find almost hanging out outside the door, and you can hear the day pass people as they walk out and like just blown away that we are able to put those people in one room, because there's nowhere in Canada you can do that. You cannot walk, and I say it with confidence, into any show in Canada and have that caliber of vendors, all, and so many from down south that it's not an easy task for them to come across the border, as some of them find out every now and then, and it's I found out over just a few hats, so it's cool. You basically every leading brand is in that room in the hunting community.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just awesome. Yeah, just some of the names are Uh, well, the big one is it's sponsored by Kifaro and Precision Optics, right? So obviously they were there and they were the major sponsors of the Mountain Hunting Expo. But we got Fierce, Gunworks. We had Crispy Boots. They had a double booth. We had Schnee's come up, Frontiersman Gear, Italian Sporting Goods. We had Stoger had a booth, or was it Sacco and Steiner both had a double booth. International Shooting. I think Nosler and Howe were there this year. Don Stevenson, Capital Tents and Polar Bear Tents, Jim Ross out of Sydney. And the list just goes on. Ray Ween's display was phenomenal. Like, it was just unbelievable. The display he had on. And the one thing that sets our show out from these other shows is, like, we truly focus on the mountain hunting, and there are some ancillary sort of activities. So there was some, some fishing outfitters there, but again, like these these adventure sports, right? It's not like, just it was really applicable to our community. This type of people that they're going to go mountain hunting, and then they're going to maybe go and do a sturgeon fishing trip. So just the vibe and the feeling was phenomenal. And just one African safari. We got Rayon from Boswell Jacobs there. Just a great guy. And Brogan DJ this year had that booth with his artwork, and Melanie just said I didn't spend a bunch of time in Brogan's booth, but she said it was so cool to see that.
Yeah, and doing his art live was neat. He was happy, though, that he didn't have to raffle that piece off or auction that piece off at the end of the show, because he wasn't ready, but man, it was cool. That guy is so talented. But I love when you walk through the doors. Like, this year we did it a little differently. We had the conservation people right outside the front door, so you have to walk by them to get in, which was a nice touch. And then, but once you're in, like, I like that you can say, if you're looking for clothes, or like you want a new setup, but you can walk in, you can go to Sitka, you can try on their stuff, you can walk around the corner, you can go to Canis, you can go to Kuyu, you can go to Scree, like you can try on everything. Like it's cool. I love that aspect of our show, and the same with boots. Like, you can go to the Schnee booth, and you got Michael Edwards there measuring your feet. Like you got this, yeah. You got one of the leading guys in the industry sitting there measuring your feet, and then he's going to talk to you about hunting the whole time too. So you're getting fitted for boots, and you're having a great conversation.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, just the lineup, and for those vendors that I missed, I apologize, but they're just too many to list. But if you go to our website, wildsheepsociety.com, and click on Mountain Hunting Expo, they have everyone listed there. We're re-signed dates for 25 or 26. Same weekend, third weekend. I think it's moved by a couple days because of where the weekend falls. And I think we've already had about 21 or 22 of the vendors signed up, like, during the weekend of. So we got another great lineup. We think we can grow it this year a little bit by about 10 booths, and it's going to be phenomenal. So, some of the shows you go to, and I'm not picking on any, and honestly, I don't have any in mind, but, you go in there and there's Leaf Gutter, and they're like it's a recruitment center for a mining company, and that's all good, but we're not there to monetize that experience. What we want to do is provide the best show that we can for the mountain hunter, right? So our show is kind of, I guess, the way I look at it, Greg, I consider it, quote, a boutique show. Like, it's very specialized. And if you want a big show, and there's amazing big show, like, you go to Reno, it's so much fun, right? And it's a big show, and if you haven't done the Mecca, you got to do it. Like, you're silly if you haven't. But ours, we don't want to be Sheep Show. We don't that's not our goal. We don't want to grow into that. Sheep Show does we want to keep our show, I guess, boutique, very intimate. That's kind of our vision for it, and maybe we grow it a little bit, but we don't ever envision, this massive, crazy show. We really want to stick true to who we are and what we do, and we'll let the big boys be the big boys, and we'll be our BC Mountain Hunting Expo, and feature the guys like the Come Out Heavy boys.
Yeah, I like the way we do it with it's small, but it's not really small. You can grab a beer, walk around with your buddies, chat at every single booth. Like you can spend the day in there, 2 days in there, just hanging out. Like you can find yourself, and it's dangerous for us because we're there working, we're not there to have a social. But you can find yourself trapped in a booth for a couple of hours, not even paying attention because you've got sucked into this conversation with you know one of the industry leaders. And now you're there and you're chatting, you're having a good time, more people are joining. It's a cool environment. And I say a couple years ago when we decided we were going to start doing this, I was nervous. I was like, "Oh shit, this is a big risk." But man, I'm happy that we did this. Like it's cool. I look forward to it more than anything. Like I love going down to Reno, and Reno's got its own thing. Like it's a big show. It's great for networking, lots of great people, but like Penticton, it just feels like everyone's your friends and family.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a good time for sure. So yeah, it's I'm excited about 26. It's gonna be a great year, and got lots of great things planned, and we'll just keep trying to up our game and make it better and more fun. And yeah, that's the big thing is just getting the family together, right? The Wild Sheep family doing what we do best. So yeah,
Yeah.
epic.
And then same on that the Friday there too. We had our AGM. Wasn't much movement. Tristan Duncan stepped down, but he's still going to stay involved. And Ken, I'm going to say his last name wrong. Your Cannon,
Yeah, you got it wrong.
yeah, Yurkinen. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying. He'll tell me I'm dumb, but he's been a volunteer of ours for several years. Shows up to the counts. He's been sitting on a couple committees for a few years as well. So he's already been part of the family and got voted in. So they're not no real shakeup, and Tristan's staying involved as well. So it'll be cool. We just growing, and we thank Tristan for everything he did and his years of service. It's actually not easy when you're on the board. Time wise, you take a lot away from your family, and a lot of these folks they got to sacrifice, and it's a tough go for some people. And you and I go through it. We've got families, and I'm sure there's more often than not they're thinking in their minds. They might not be saying it out loud, but really, you guys got another meeting in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
As we're doing this right now. It's 8:30 at night on a Wednesday, and here we are. And last night we were there till 9:30 at night, and tomorrow, who knows what we'll be doing tomorrow? But
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a non-stop labor of love for sure. So yeah. Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah, and Tristan did a phenomenal job. He was a real asset to our board, and it's like you said. I guess he in a sense he didn't step down. He just didn't renew. He had his 2-year term was up, and he didn't put his name back in. He just said, "I'll take some time back," and he goes, "But I'll be back." And he's talked to me about some things he's pretty passionate about that he wants to get involved in, and I think he'll be back. So. But yeah, hats off to Tristan for the work he's done, and really, really excited to have Ken J on the board now. So
that's cheating.
Awesome.
That's it. Yeah, that's their new name, Ken. You're just going to be Ken J to me.
Yeah,
until you tell me how to say your last name properly.
Yeah, it's awesome for sure. So
yeah,
no, it's exciting.
Yeah, we tried things a little differently on the Friday night this year too. We brought in a fun night, and we got to get you guys to buy in a little bit heavier next year. But there are some folks willing to step into the boxing ring and throw some haymakers at each other, and people getting into the sumo suits and wrestling. It was good. I loved it. I thought it was great because it's just off to the side of the banquet. It's in the room. You can have dinner and then go slap on a sumo suit and wrestle your buddy. It was a good time. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It was, yeah, it wasn't as many people doing it as we thought. Horn aging was absolutely packed, right? Like people were doing the guess the horn, guess the age of the sheep and stuff. That was really well received, and the guess the pack weight. But the sumo suits and the boxing ring wasn't quite. But I liked great the idea of getting Big Joe and Little Joe to do a boxing match and like do some fundraising for it. But there's a bit of a liability there. I think somebody could have maybe got hurt. So.
Yeah, I think there's enough size difference that Big Joe could probably kill a man. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no, it was cool. I thought it was a neat addition because we always tried to strive for that Friday to just be more of a fun night, and we yeah, I feel it was good. It was a neat change for us. I liked it, and then and then we did the usual. We had a great dinner put on, and some speaking. Joe Appel did the MC that night, and oh man, I'm already drawing blanks. Who do we have speak? It was Blaine Calkins on Friday night,
Blaine
wasn't it?
Calkins, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Blaine was there. It was great to have Blaine there supporting. He did a phenomenal job as he always does, and just kind of gave us an update from Ottawa, what was going on there, and yeah, it was good. Speaking of which, are we gonna have a federal election in 5 days or what?
There's a real possibility, as you told me before the show. I'm out of town working, so I haven't been paying attention to nothing. But yeah, the deadline's here, isn't it?
It is, yes, yeah. It's so I think the Liberals they're going to choose their leader on the 9th, so in 4 days. So what's that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on Sunday. They're going to announce their new leader, it sounds like. And Blaine was saying at our show that he thinks there's probably going to be an election called on the 10th. So we could be going to the polls here. So I guess that's kind of a call to action for anyone that has been paying attention that we don't get this chance very often to vote. So this is your time. So pay attention, figure out who you're going to vote for. And I know I've made my mind up, so I hope everyone's thinking about it and they go out and they answer the call and elect somebody that they're passionate about.
Yeah, and people just need to remember they gotta show up, they gotta vote. Like I know a lot of guys, gals will say, "Oh, it's just one single vote. It doesn't matter." It does matter because if enough people say that, you know, and we in the hunting and conservation community, we famously don't show up. So
Yeah.
please get out and vote if it comes to that. You know, quick Google searches, go to the party platforms. You can read their platforms. It's all public information. Just educate yourself on what's best for you. We hope when you go to the polls, you're thinking about wildlife as well. So obviously, that's kind of our jam is wildlife. So, but think about you, think about your family, think about what's important to you, and vote on it. You got a voice,
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah. Well said for sure. So, yeah, it's good. Blaine did a great job and got us thinking about what's important. And yeah, and I guess with all this stuff going on right now with our friends down south, as close as we are as friends, there seems to be a little bit of a tit for tat going back and forth between our leadership teams. And we just want to make sure we have strong leadership in Ottawa, making sure that we're well represented during a pretty challenging time, I would say. So,
No, it can definitely get interesting in a real hurry if it continues. Just need someone that can negotiate and stand up for Canada and stand up for what's right. Try not to go too deep into it before I get personal and start pushing different views on people. So, I know some people would want us to do that, but we can't. It's a no-no.
Yeah.
and then so after Blaine spoke, we did our media awards, and then rolled into the auction, the live auction, which is always fun. I love live auctions at these events because you never know what's going to happen. Some things you're like, how did that go so cheap? And other things you're like, how did that go so high? And you just never know. It's just who's in the room, who wants what, and that's how it works. Some people get lucky and some people spend way too much money, but we love you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good for conservation, that's for sure. And yeah, it's the conservation economy, right? And people are pretty generous, and we're really grateful for it. So we had a record fundraiser, to be like transparent. And the important part there is that we're going to do a really good job of looking after BC's wild sheep because of the support we received from everyone that weekend. And whether you're the big spender, you bought the most expensive item in the room, or you bought a couple raffle tickets, or even just showed up and had a good time. We appreciate y'all, and it's so important to our mission and what we do and the work that we get done throughout the year. So pretty awesome. So
Yeah, well, I guess I wouldn't be much of a stretch to say if this past February was our highest grossing month ever.
yeah, for sure.
And
For sure.
we every year we seem to be raising the bar on what we bring in for conservation and what we put on the ground for conservation. And when I say we, I don't just mean the board. I mean the members, the donors, the volunteers, our sponsors. Like it's a community collaborative effort, and we can't do what we do without everybody that's involved. And we appreciate everybody that shows up, everybody that donates, everybody that volunteers, everyone that opens up their wallets on those nights and buys raffle tickets and buys silent auction and live auction. And, it's awesome. It's such a buzz in that room. And between Dawson and then Penticton and those auctions, and the raffles, like, man, people show up there, and I feel like, I don't know, I know personally, like before I got on the board, when we were allowed to buy raffle tickets, like that was kind of my thing. It was, if you're going to donate money to conservation, and you don't just want to donate straight cash, like you buy something. You go and you buy a raffle, and that, the raffles raise great funds for us. The silent auction items are, we go in that with zero expense on the silence, and, people show up for that, and that raises a lot of money in those couple of nights for us. And, it allows us to do a lot of great things for wild sheep, and it's a feel good room. I know I almost get sentimental thinking about it here. Actually, it's cool to be part of such a great family of dedicated folks. But I guess we'll quit reminiscing on that. And Saturday we kicked off the morning with the life member breakfast, and under Colin Peters' leadership this year, he grabbed the bull by the horns and wrestled it out of your hands.
Didn't hear me complaining. Yeah, he did a great job for sure. Yeah.
That's yet another thing that I missed.
Yeah, we had it was a great life member breakfast. Lots of fun. Yeah, it was cool. It was a lot of fun. So, gave away a Fierce rifle. It was a beautiful Fierce setup to our life members. We had we sold $100 tickets, sold 200 tickets, and a great fundraiser for us. 100% of the proceeds went to our conservation work. So a huge shout out to Fierce for that, and gave away some cool stuff. I think there was a streamlined fishing trip. Gave away a Browning rifle. Just a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So it was a good day to be in the room because we gave away probably 20 prizes to the people there and some really, really good stuff. So it was it's just a way to say thank you to our Life and Monarch members that do so much for us, right? Like, don't get me wrong, all our members are valuable, really important, and it's just some go that extra mile, right? And it's nice to recognize those people that are stepping up and really, really supporting the society in more ways than the average individual. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and how about the half curl memberships? Man, I'm so disappointed that I was still under the weather that morning and get to see all the kids go up there and get their plaques that were donated from Dallas Matson, and then get their knives from Don Stevenson. And man, that seeing the kids running around after and the smiles on their face during the show, it was pretty cool. And what are we up to now with the half curls? Or was it 25 or something like that?
It's definitely more than that. I think it's 26 or no, it's even more than that. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's really coming along, which is really cool. So
yeah, it's a great way to get your kids involved. And we gave away something for the youth that registered over that weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, it was pretty epic, actually. So Vortex stepped up. They said they donated a set of Bantam binoculars from Vortex. We gave a set of those away, and then we also gave away Paradise Outfitters. Wayne Henderson, a supporter of the society, great guy, and long-term conservationist. He fully donated a whitetail hunt in South Dakota, and so Zoe Masterman won that. So congratulations to Zoe. And then Kaylee Hamilton won the binos. So super cool for our youth members, and just generous again from Vortex and Paradise Outfitters, and such a cool opportunity for our youth. And it's a way to celebrate our half curl memberships. They were all obviously automatically entered, and just a really, really cool giveaway for our youth membership. So
yeah, and then just to keep going with the youth topic right now, we are aiming to do a lot more for youth. We're hoping to put together a camp this summer, so that'll be cool. So keep your ears open and your eyes open and everything. Listen to the podcast when details come out, or catch us on social, or it'll be out in the e-blast. We'll figure out a way to let you know what's going on when we get this thing set in stone. But we got some pretty cool opportunities for youth coming up.
Yeah, no, it's awesome for sure. So love what we're doing, and Joe's really taking and running with this. Big Joe, people are really passionate about it, and yeah, it's going to be a great program for sure. So yeah,
and then after the life member breakfast, went back to the PTCC. And vendors, the Sheep Hunter University rolled on again. And Saturday was bumping in that room, actually. There was quite a few people rolling through on Saturday. I don't know how many walk-ins we had, but we had 600 tickets sold for the banquet that night, and I'm sure most of them were there for at least half of the day. Plus, do we have numbers on how many people actually walked through the doors?
We kind of figure on the it was over 2,000 people on the expo floor. So, like you said, 600 on the Saturday, and then we had a ton of people registered just for day passes, right? So, really, really good numbers. There was times where that place you couldn't even walk; it was just so packed, right? So,
yeah, well, and then Saturday being my only real day that I was alive, I tried walking around the vendor floor and do the best I can to try to visit every person that showed up, or every exhibitor, I should say, and I couldn't. And it was great that I couldn't, because their booths were so busy on that day. It was awesome. It was great to see. It made you feel like we were doing something right, and the exhibitors were all happy, and they didn't get any rest during the day. So
yeah, no, it was awesome for sure. Just a great vibe, great feedback from our vendors, and the people that attended were just such great feedback too. So yeah, it's awesome. Love it.
Yeah. And then after the day, we settled into another banquet, and we had Rod Giltaka spoke. Um, unfortunately for people out there, I spoke. Kyle spoke, so I
You
get
did a
to.
great job.
Yeah. Then I gave Dr. Matt Ward the President's Award. He's kind of proven himself over the last few years that he's dedicated, he's passionate, he's here to stay, and felt that we needed to recognize him for that. And then, you gave away the Lex Ross Award to somebody too.
Yeah, so just one of the staples of our community, Ben Barakoff, and honestly, we just have so many heavy lifters, but Ben has just been there for so many years doing so much heavy lifting. He's our lead on the Fraser, on the freight, all the helicopter work that, a lot of what we do is done by Ben, and he just does so much to support the society. He's at the Jurassic. He brings two teams every year, a bunch of bios, and just really, I said it the night of the show. It's good people doing good things or great things. I think he says, and just a great. He walks the walk, talks the talk, and he's just such a passionate conservationist. And it was an honor to present it. Unfortunately, he was out flying. He was supposed to be at the show. He was coming, and then literally 2 days out, they're like, "No, we need you to do some more work." And I think he was up in 7B doing some work up there, and we missed out on him. But yeah, it was an honor to give that to Ben, and so well deserved. So
Yeah, no, he's one of the most humble people too. Like he just,
oh yeah,
like there's no you give that guy a thanks. He's like, for what? It's like, okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, yeah, well, so that's so well deserved, and what he gives to the community. Like, obviously, he's doing it for a job, but he donates. What was it? It's like 20% or something crazy. It's like an outstanding number he donates back.
Yeah, exactly. And he his invoice, and he just takes off it, and he just he's one of those guys that's a 2% certified guy, right? And so he gives a lot to our community, and we're lucky to have him for sure. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah.
awesome.
And then after that, we killed it on another live auction. People showed up for that, and we all shared a few drinks and a few laughs, and did that some more after everybody left, and then did it some more. And some point in there, we wake up, and then we come back in the morning, and we dismantle that place and get everything to the storage locker in record time. I don't know. It's quite it's quite something when you think about it. We take a day and a half, 2 days, full days to set this thing up, and then we're there in like 5 hours. We got to get it out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's pretty crazy, unhinged, but no, just a huge shout out to our members, supporters, donors, and everyone that supported us. It was a great year, and it's positioned us very well to do a lot of really good things for wild sheep. And we have a lot of keystone projects that are on the landscape that we need to get done. So it's critical work that we need to do, and we could not do it without the support of those fundraisers, without question. So
Yeah, no, they're the how you want to put that? That's the heart of our funding. It's those two events. Like the ship doesn't stay alive without those, and you guys all deserve an individual thank you, and we'll try our best to just say thank you to everybody, and we'll forget people, we'll miss people, but just from the bottom of our hearts, seriously though, thank you for everyone that shows up for Wild Sheep.
yeah, it's an epic for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the fun didn't stop for you there, did it? You decided you're just gonna go hike over the Rocky Mountains and go visit our friends in Alberta.
Yeah, yeah, I got the invite to go out there, and they asked me to come over and have a chat at their life member breakfast. And so Wardo and I were over there. Wardo was doing a seminar. I regaled the crowd with my stories at the life member breakfast, and But obviously that wasn't the highlight of the weekend for anyone that was at the show. But they certainly put on a phenomenal show. So hats off to our good friends over at Wild Sheep Foundation Alberta chapter there. Just it was a fun weekend, man. You got to go. I think, Greg, we should try and get Mike and the crew on here just to chat about their banquet and what they got planned for all their fundraising. They had a smashing year as well. Their live auction was crushing it, and they're doing a great job over there. They're kind of in the middle of all the shitstorm right now with this cougar thing, as we know. We've seen all that through social and stuff. So they're kind of fighting a bit of a fight there on the social media end or the media end of things. But hats off to the Alberta crew, and just it was cool. I brought my dad with me. He came up and got to hang out, and there's just a lot of great people, a lot of great conversations with our members, with the Alberta members. I'm obviously a Life and Skyline member in Alberta, so super passionate. That's my home province, right? It was so cool to go back there and just to hang out with those crazy Albertans. And dude, I actually bought a pair of riding boots when I was out there. So I'm actually like a cowboy now. I'm an Albertan. So
geez, going back to your roots.
Yeah. So I bought at our show up north, I got Tanner and Lewis to build me a belt. So I bought one of those custom Frontiersman gear belts, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. The craftsmanship on that Lewis did is just phenomenal. And so I've been wearing that thing around with pride. And then I'm like, I felt a little inspired. So Melly's like, yeah, go get yourself a pair of boots. So I bought a pair of cowboy boots. So the next thing I'm going to be looking for a Stetson. So, no, really, 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 really cool. Great show in Alberta, and really grateful for what Alberta did there. And just hats off to the entire board there. They did a phenomenal job. They're volunteers and had a lot of fun. They put on a great show. So recommend it for anyone that could pull it off. Got to see Eric Scanning, Darren App at both shows. Wardo, how life doesn't get any better, man. It's as good as it gets.
Some great company. Yeah, I want to make it out there so bad. It's just so quick after our show, and then this year I kind of got boned. I got got to come home for a day after the show and then out of town for work. So maybe next year.
Yeah, I know. I recommend it. And that's the thing. You just can't do, like, we do Sheep Show every year, and then we do all this other stuff. And it's like, man, how do you do it? But I'm glad they were able to, I was able to get out there and be part of it, because it's worth the price of admission and then some. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah. And then just for, our listeners, sheep don't know boundaries. We share sheep with Alberta, so that's why I'm a Life member there as well. Just if you're going to support another organization and you're a Wild Sheep Society, a BC member, or just a BC resident, and you care about sheep, it's another good place to donate if you have the means to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're definitely the good group of guys and gals doing great things out there, and like you said, yeah, like if they're transborder, those sheep come across the Alberta border, and they definitely come into our country, and like ours go over there. So it's good group to support for sure. So
yeah,
awesome.
What happens after the show now? What's our next thing that we're gonna do? We're gonna do some golfing in Kamloops, I guess, eh?
Yeah, so we've got the Mountain Monarch, eh? It's going to be a good time.
It would be the third annual golf tournament, and it's such a cool spot. There's so many sheep there. Like they live on the golf course, and it's a neat spot, because those sheep are pretty much protected because of they live on that golf course. Like they got the mountains roll right into the course. So while you're out there golfing, having a great time with a bunch of great people, you can look up and you'll see a giant ram there and bunch of lambs, bunch of ewes. Like it's a pretty neat little spot, and it's timing doesn't work out for me or you really, because we June's always a chaotic month. We'll probably end up down south somewhere for chapters and affiliates, and maybe over to Ottawa for a hunting and angling caucus the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to happen this year because of the election, more than likely. So, but chapter and affiliates is that same weekend, I think. So, that's a conflict. So our golf tournament's June 6th and 7th, and it's interesting. It's actually there's really good registration already. So, if anyone's thinking about it, I kind of recommend you don't wait too long. So, if you go to our website, I think right on the homepage, you can click on the link to the golf tournament there. I think there's a link on the homepage. Actually, no, it's not. I'll get one added up there. But if you go under events, it's listed as golf tournament there, and June 6th and 7th. And yeah, it's just a great weekend. Tons of sponsorship, tons of giveaways, and just like-minded people doing good things for wild sheep.
And it is a party.
Yes. Yes.
You talk to anybody that's gone to the golf tournament, it's I get upset every year when I get the pictures. I'm like, I wish I was able to go.
Yeah.
It just looked like it. I don't golf either, and I want to golf just so I can go there. Like it just looks like that good of a time. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then we have, we'll be rolling. Well, I guess we kind of skipped counts.
Yeah, I was going to say you should update that.
The Spence's Bridge count
guy.
will be the count guy. It's the title. So we'll have the first one there April, what is that, Saturday? April 5th, April 6th? Well, the first Saturday there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that'll be the Spence's count. So keep your eyes online, and then our e-blast will be sending out something in the near future here, or posting with how you can sign up and support. And that one's kind of, you go to your specific locations, and then we'll try to do a little lunch after as well. And that way you want to pay attention to that and register for that one, because you don't want to end up going all the way where you don't need to go, especially if you're coming from the lower mainland. You might be glassing sheep down by Lytton, so you don't want to go all the way to Spence's Bridge just to be turned around. But and there's always usually some good giveaways. There's some good people, and that area, if you're familiar with the Thompson River, there's sheep. You're gonna see sheep. You might not see sheep in your area that you're watching for the morning, but you definitely don't have to go far to find sheep in that area. So it's cool. It's a terrible place to drive through for me, because I'm staring off the road while driving the highway. My wife's smacking me and pay attention, idiot. No. But yeah, we got that count. I have to figure out logistics, and we'll be rolling into counts in the summer again. We'll be up on the Fraser River, so once we finalize all that stuff, we'll get that out to membership. I know we kind of lacked last year on that, and I'll take the blame because I left for work again, and it was all kind of last minute for me, so I had no time to prepare anything, and then disappeared to no service for several months with no days off. So wasn't much of a help to anybody trying to set that count up, since I had been doing it the past few years. And then after the counts, we'll be back in Chilliwack again for Jurassic Classic. I don't know what year is that?
Ninth annual.
Ninth annual. I wasn't sure if it was 10 or not. So ninth annual. We're getting one step closer. 10 better be a big party then.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty stoked about it for sure. Yeah.
We
got a big year. So as many people know, Yeti was there last year, and they're sounds like they're going to be back again this year with any luck. And so really excited about having Yeti there. They're a huge supporter of what we're doing there. And yeah, it's just a cool event, cool project, and cool fundraiser, and just so many great like-minded people there for a great time. So
yeah, I'll vouch for that. I went to my first one this past year. Finally finally put that president's hat on and like, I'm coming to Jurassic.
Nice. Yeah.
But that's we don't get to fish, so that's that part. We just work. You guys go fishing, we work and feed you when you get off the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Oh, it's definitely a good time for sure. So totally stoked about it. So yeah, it's worth the price of admission for sure. And we think we still got a couple teams left for sale. We got one at the Joe ABC auction and another one down south that's going to be online, which we'll share. It's through I'm not sure actually what the name of the place is, but I'll post a link to it online. I can't remember right now where who we got it listed through, but we've sold all the ones in our sheep world. It's just the GeoABC one that's still outstanding. So
Is that one the GeoABC's auction? Are they online?
no, it's not online. So that's you got to be in
okay.
the room to buy that one. So
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah,
a good
for
room
sure.
to be in. I got to get to GeoABC one of these years. That's that auction looks fun.
yeah, for sure.
They post those auction items on their socials, and it's like, oh man, it's.
Yeah,
I guess they got the in when it comes to getting hunts, eh?
yeah, but they still got to pay for them, right? Like that.
Yeah.
They're still those hunts are what they're worth, right? Like they're you get a $60,000, $80,000 stone sheep hunt. That's what they're worth. And if you only sell it for 30, it's somebody's out 50 grand somewhere, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Man.
no question about it. So
And do we have anything else? We got some. I guess we do have other things. Not events, but there might be a caribou raffle on right now, and there'd be a pronghorn hunt on raffle on. There's the Barney Sheep Camp raffles on. Am I missing
yeah.
anything?
No, I think you got all those. And then I think the big one for us is just that horn aging, right? So we're going to do one in every region. So we're going to come and see you. So maybe if you're in BC, we're going to be there. So Penticton's already done. So Region 8, we've ticked that box. But we're going to be in every other region between now and the start of the sheep opener. So come say hi. Come and check it out. Greg's obviously going to be at the Prince George one. I'll be at the Comox Courtney one. And we'll probably be at some other ones as well. Maybe Greg will wander down to Williams Lake or Kamloops. Maybe not, hard to say. But yeah, just come out and say hi. And if you're not a member, if you're a listener, we'd love to have you join the cause. And every little bit helps. So buy a membership. It's cheap, 3 years, $150, $50 a year. Cheap price of admission to support the mission. So
Yeah, no, it's a great time. Yeah, none. I might make a surprise appearance at other ones depending on my schedule. If I got the time, I will. I won't make it to the island because there's already too many heavy hitters in that room. But
I'm hurt. Our island folk are hurt, Greg.
yeah, they get to look at your beardless face.
Beardless face, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Awesome. Cool, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've done a kind of around the horn here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I drug this
Awesome.
one out.
Yeah. Well, lots to catch up on, lots to talk about, and frankly, a lot to be excited about too, right? So we've had a great couple of months, and now this is where you and I do the heavy lifting. Our board and so we looked to our membership. We put on these events. They showed up. They did their part. Now we got to put this on the ground, and we got to be, and one thing I think we can say pretty carefully, Greg, is that a lot of thought, effort, and consideration goes into the incredible support from our members, donors, and supporters. And we take that seriously. And then we go and we do our very best to maximize those funds on the ground. We collaborate with other entities, with other groups. We do our very best to try and maximize what we can for wild sheep. And that's what we'll be working on sort of over the summer. Now we're getting into prime. So the Fraser work is just done. Proctor's literally on the Fraser as we speak right now. He's out doing capture work on the Fraser. They were out a couple weeks ago, had some very good success, but they had a little bit more work to do. They're out there right now. And then there's a bunch more work. So we're getting right into the burn window here in April. So all this money that you guys have been supporting us with, now we're going to start putting it on the ground, and we're going to see some more wild sheep on the mountains because of the work that you guys are doing. And I think you know you can attest this, Greg. Our board is very careful with our funding because we know how hard it is for people to raise it, how precious that money is, and how important it is that we maximize every cent.
Yeah, and it's neat. Everyone pays attention. They're cautious with the money, and we have so much that goes on now. Like we can't frivolously spend the money on every project that pops up. So if you're listening to this and you've got a project that you want, you might as well get that into us sooner rather than later, because I just got a feeling we're going to be saying no by the end of this year to some things. Like we're going to be, I feel we got a big year ahead of us. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, totally agree for sure. So
We're going to break that
Yeah.
$1 million mark.
yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see about that. But $736,000 last year is what we invested in projects in and around British Columbia. So hats off to you, our members that support us, our donors, supporters. Absolutely could not do it without that support. And we'll just keep doing what we're doing and looking after BC's wild sheep.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. All right, brother. Let's call our night.
Yep, sounds good. Have a good one.